I got another video for you. What you're looking at here in front of you is a cool Grundig. It's a Transworld Petite. You can see it here, but it's also the same as a Prima Boy 201 from what I've researched. On-off switch, volume switch, FM, broadcast AM, and it covers shortwave. So got this off of eBay. Advertised as not working for parts only, so it was cheap. So I decided, well, let me get it to mess around with it. The tuning indicator dial cord needs changing, but this is a pretty hefty radio, so I had already taken the two screws off the back, and I think this selects for I think this is a car antenna input. I think that's for the power, because I think you can select here for batteries. There's a battery slot here, or here I think it's for this input. So I guess it'd be 6 volts. Then there's a selector switch on the side. So this doesn't come off all the way, but the antenna is there on the side. Pretty cool. But if I take this off, I guess I could unsolder that for the back. So here's the back of the radio. Pretty nice looking circuit board there. And let me see if I can, well, get this out to show you what the board looks like. There's 9 transistors on here. They're PNP transistors according to the schematic. So then they're germanium transistors. So when I turn the radio on, you don't hear anything. So it's just pretty silent. So I'm like, well, where do I start with this thing? So I had gotten a signal generator. I got this off of Amazon a while back, never used it. But so I turned it on and was, injecting the signal at the base of the transistors to see if I would hear anything. So some I did, some I didn't, and then looking at the schematic, I saw something. So here's the end here. The audio stages near the speaker, so they're PNP. This is match pair for the audio, and these are for the audio too. So I checked these with the signal generator, and they were loud. They seemed to be okay. And then I started looking at the other 5, and then I noticed something interesting. Oops, let me get that off of there. They have 4 leads, and there's that is a shield. That's, I guess, connected to the case. So yeah, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this calls to mind my Zenith Transoceanic 3000 that had these PNP transistors with the 4 leads, with one to the shield to the case. And some of these transistors developed a problem with the tin whiskers, where internally this would short to the case and then cause the radio not to, make any sound. So that's exactly what I had happen on my Zenith Transoceanic. And once I took the transistors out and bent this pin back so it wasn't going into the socket, the radio started working. So I'm like, that's sort of similar to this, so let me gonna try that on this radio and bend the leads back and see if anything happens. I hope that's the problem. If not, it's gonna take quite a bit more detective work. Try to figure out what's going on with the radio. So maybe I'll just show you. I have this set to sine wave at 1000 hertz. And so here's the, I have, I guess, the service manual schematic. So here's, I highlighted the transistors. This is a pretty nice schematic because it shows the base emitter collector and exactly where they are. And that's good. So there's two up here when you're looking at the back of the circuit board, two here. And those don't have the shield, but these other ones here have the shield. I circled in red the other 5. So I'm going to use my signal generator. That's generating that tone. I'm going to touch the back of the transistors. So the one up here. So I turned the radio on, so power's going to the board and the transistors, so it's getting a tone signal to the base, and it's going through out from the transistor to the speaker. So this is the OC71, which is one of these two. So it's going from here to here either way and going all the way out to the speaker. So this chain seems to be working okay. So here's the one of the transistors, 2 of them, and there's 2 over here. I did the same thing and tested those. Those were not quite as loud, but you could hear the sine wave coming out. I don't know if you can hear that. And that was one, and this is the other one. All right, but I guess so. Those are those 4, so they seem to be okay, and those are all in the audio. And then these other ones are in the, assuming they're in the IF section. And that's exactly where I had the problem on my Zenith transoceanic transistors with the shield. So since it's an IF frequency, I don't think I can use this 1000 hertz sine wave on it. So anyway, I'm going to bend those pins back and see what happens. Alright, here's the back of the board. Let's see those 2 silver circles. Those are those 2 transistors. And there's 3 there if you could see. So those are the ones that have the transistors with the shield. So the 1, 2, 3, and there's the 2 back here. So nice thing. Thank you, Grundig. These are actually in sockets, so I can just pull the transistor out. I don't have to hassle with unsoldering those, and then I can test them and bend that shield pin back and put them back in, and then turn the radio on and see what happens. Alright, I'd found a data sheet for the transistors. They're this PNP germanium AF116. I don't know if that's shown on here. Let's see here, it shows the emitter base shield collector for this. So here's one that I pulled out. Emitter base and the shield, I just bent it back. So I could plug it in and then I'll see if it works. Alright, I've been taking out each of the transistors and measuring the voltage across the base emitter, base collector, then the collector emitter, and see if any are shorted too. This is the shield pin. I did find one that the emitter was shorted to the shield. So here's one in the background. Here's the meter, you can see. So the center here where the black lead is the base. And this is the collector. You can see on the meter it says 236. And if I go to the other side, do this so you can see it, 265. So this is base emitter 265. It's a voltage drop. And here base collector is 237. So that's good. The base emitter should be a little bit higher than the base collector. And if we reverse the leads and put the red on the base and touch the black to either one, it should read an open circuit, which that is showing. And then if we test the base to the emitter, the ones on the ends, it should be open circuit. What do we have there? It's shorted. So it shouldn't be beeping. And you can also test the shield to the pins. Looks like that's shorted too. So this transistor is definitely bad. All the other ones I've tested so far were still good, except that one had the emitter shorted to the shield, but since I bent that pin back like this one, this isn't going to be in the circuit, shorting the emitter to the shield and then back inside the circuit, so that should be okay. I guess there's two others that I think are testing good, but I still need to take those out and test them. Alright, so here's the results of the transistor testing. This one, the AF116, this is in the IF stage. So all of these read good. The base emitter, 257 millivolts, 0.27 volts. Base collector was good. Then if the reverse was over limit, then the emitter collector emitter should be over limits, but it was shorted. And then these two others are in the audio stage, and you know, the base emitter, base collector, these read good, but then I think it was emitter collector, I guess this should be over limit, you know, or like open circuit, but it's actually leaking and flowing some current, so it does have some voltage reading across it, so it's not open, acting sort of like a resistor. So these were still working because I used a signal generator to input a tone into the base and other leads on the capacitor, and I showed that. So it went through the transistor, you could hear it went through the stage to the speaker, but I think these are not optimum, so I'll probably end up go ahead just change those two as well as this other one that I know is bad. And all the other transistors were good except this one. All the emitter, base emitter, whatever, collector emitter were good, except the emitter was shorted to that fourth shield pin, but since I bent that back, that'll take that out of the circuit. So hopefully those three transistors are the problem, and I can get those changed and see if the radio will start working, and then I gotta replace the dial cord. Alright, what do we have here? It's like we're hearing some audio.
Have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term
So it looks
insurance
like
may
that
only cost about
IF
$200 a
transistor
month.
was bad. I didn't have a germanium.
Call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let
PNP,
diabetes or
so
other
just
health
stuck
glitches
a
keep you from
silicon with $239.06 in there.
term life insurance.
For the time being, and it's working.
Call Big Lou. Don't hesitate.
So this
Call
is
800-700-6898.
FM.
800-700-6898.
I think there's a loose wire in the antenna section I need to try to figure out. We have success.
They cut back on cultural funding.
This sounds like it's 88.7 KUHF.
Says it left or right, but they. Well, especially for them. You cut back on the cultural and you.
Back to that new country in Houston.